This is a short YouTube video for my dad. These are just a few movements in his strength program that I wanted to make videos for. Any other older people that get a strength program from me, you can use this as a reference for learning how to do some of the movements I might incorporate into your program. The first thing that I want to show my dad is alternating front lunge. And I won't take long with each of these movements, but alternating front lunge is just step forward, back up. Alternating, go to the other leg. You can watch, if you do this in a mirror, you can watch that your knee's not going all over the place. It's just sturdy control, and you'll feel the muscle control. The next thing I have on the list is seal pose. Some yoga teachers call this something different. I'm not sure what they call it, but I call it seal pose. So I'm just kind of on my hands and knees. I sink my hips towards the ground, and I can rotate side to side, kind of like a seal floating on a little piece of ice. You should feel a nice stretch in your lower abdominals and hip flexor area. The next movement I want to show is child's pose. This is a common yoga pose, but you can put your knees a little bit wider and then just reach forward. And you can improve this stretch by shifting your weight side to side. So I'm in this pose. I'm just going to shift my weight side to side and feel that pull on my hips a little differently as I move side to side. You can also reach weight to one side and to the other side. Child's pose. Next is wall sit. That one's pretty normal. You can do it however you like. If you're getting knee pain or something, you might have to switch up the angles of your knees. Something like this seems fine. Maybe the legs are out a little further, something like this. Maybe if you're just starting out with this program, just a little bit taller, and then as you feel more comfortable, you can sink down into that. Next on the list is push-up high plank. So push-up position, high plank, you're just holding a plank in the push-up position. If you want to make this a little harder, you can add in a few push-ups. You can turn the hands out. You can put the hands a little wider. You can lift one leg if you want. That's the push-up high plank. Then we have burpees. Burpees, it's no big rush. You don't need to throw yourself at the ground. You can just go down into the push-up position. You might even let yourself out slow onto the ground and then back up at whatever rate you want. You can, once you get comfortable with it, you can kind of drop yourself down and add a little jump at the top. Next, I have dumbbell Arnold Press. So this can be standing or just seated on a bench. With this press, you don't need a lot of weight. You're sitting here with two dumbbells. Curl and press them over your head. Bring them down nice and slow, controlled. Notice the angles of my hands. My palms are facing me. Palms facing me. And then when I press, the palms go away from me. So with little dumbbells. Next I have forward fold. And this one, you can use something like a couch to lean forward onto, or a chair. Maybe you want to let yourself down to just your hands at first. And then once you're really comfortable with the forward fold, you won't need to lean on anything. You can just hinge forward. You should feel that in your hamstrings. Try to relax your back. You can shift side to side. If I have some grip, I can get a little bit more width. But my carpet is pretty slippery. When you need a break from the forward fold, you can come up at the top and just Do a couple little rotations, those are nice. Next, I have body weight squat. So this, it's kind of up to you how you want to set up your foot position. Toes might be turned out or they might be facing almost straight ahead. You can just lower yourself down and squat back up. The depth is also up to you. One of the things that I like to do is go down to full depth and work my ankles and hips in. But body weight squat can just be as low as here, here, here. It's up to you how deep you want to go, what you're comfortable with. Plank hold. Everyone knows the plank hold, just standard, just like the push-up plank, but you're on your forearms. Weight shift, this one is a little challenging. It's just like, again, this one's called weight shift. You can be in a squat hold position, maybe legs a little bit wider than normal squat, and then you can shift your weight across from the side. So one thing I'm not doing is I'm not rotating my hips outward or up. I'm trying to have the same depth. So I'm shifting straight across with my hips facing square the whole time. So I can feel way more weight on this leg right now and none on this leg. And then I'm shifting my weight to this leg. Now this one, there's no weight on it. To start, you can distribute the weight a little more evenly. After this, we have crunches. Crunches from your back. It's up to you how you'd like to do these. You can just, with control, curl the upper abs. Personally, I like to put my knees up like this and try to get my elbows to my knees. And an advanced version would be like a gymnastics person. Gymnast, I guess that would be called. That one feels nice. And spine rotations. These ones are really nice. You can just lay on your back, bring your heels into your butt, keep your shoulder blades on the ground, and you can rotate your legs to one side, to the other side from a different angle. My head can be on the floor. Sometimes I can get a nice crack. As I'm doing this, I can massage my butt, my glutes into the ground. And the only other stretch I have on here is, there's 2 more, 3 more. There's 4 more. There's 4 more on here. So downward dog, this one you could skip or you can add it in. It's a little bit more advanced than some of these other ones, but I'll be kind of like this. And if anything's uncomfortable, any pain, just stop. But from here I can kind of work one calf into the ground and then the other one. I can pull my head through closer towards my knees. That one is nicely paired with what we had before, the seal pose. And then from there you can go into child's pose and you can hit those like a sequence. The next thing that you could do is 90-90, and that one is 90-degree bend in the front leg, 90-degree bend in the rear leg, and this one is kind of a hip stretch, and you can just rotate side to side. That one feels really nice, except for my bruised ankle from blocking a shot. The next thing on here is pigeon pose. Pigeon pose, you can be kind of like in the push-up plank position, something like that, or you can just go like this. So one leg is bent under you and you feel the stretch in the butt. From here, so it looks something like this. From here you can lower one hip to the ground, the front one, and then from here you can lower your chest down, and that feels pretty good. The other side would look like this. Get some, in all these stretches you can get some movement to add to the stretch. So as I'm shifting right and left, I can feel a nice stretch in my rear hip flexor, and I can feel my front hip joint getting a bit more work than it would if I was just sitting here stationary. Lower the hip down, chest to the front quad. The last stretch on here is called hurdler's stretch. So your legs can be right in front of you. Pull one leg to the back. So it looks like someone going over a hurdle. And from here, like any of these stretches, you can get a bit more movement in the stretch. You can lean forward to stretch your front hamstring, or you can lean back and even twist, and that'll get your quad on the back and your hip flexor. And if you get all these muscles moving together synergistically, you will likely reduce pain, back pain, hip pain, knee pain, any kind of pain, if you just get them all working together. So that's the stretching video, movement video. Enjoy.